Worship, you are live.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to our January 16th regular council meeting. Mayor Irvin is unable to be here tonight, so I will be chairing on his behalf. And unfortunately, Councillor Paquette is also not able to be here tonight. So, but we will
persevere.
Get it done. Okay, so let's just get right into it. So there are a couple of amendments to the agenda tonight. The RCMP delegation unfortunately is not able to be here this evening, so we will reschedule them for a later meeting. Was that all?
That is correct, Your Worship.
And that was all. So can we please have a motion to adopt the agenda as amended?
Make that motion to adopt the agenda as amended.
Thank you.
I will second.
Thank you. All in favor? Thank you. And then we have to adopt the draft minutes from the regular meeting of January 9th, 2024.
Adopt the draft minutes of the meeting from January 9th, 2024.
Councillor Burtis, Councillor Sliger. All in favor? Thank you. Okay, so a motion to pay the open payables in the amount of $140,045.29.
Make a motion to pay the open payables in the amount of $140,045.29.
I will second.
Thank you. Any comments?
I only have one. It just, how can we cancel the waivers and then reissued and then cancel, like?
It was, Your Worship, the issue was that it was in our system as an EFT, so then it was canceled, so it shows a void check, and then was properly issued second.
And sorry, just one more. I just don't know what it is. It's 61852.
61852, Morrison Hirschfield.
Yeah.
That is the last of the consulting fees on our of submission for our landfill licenses.
Is that all?
That's all for me. Yeah.
I have one question, and that was 61865.
61865. What's in like secondary? So that is the payments for that you approved last meeting for the boys and girls volleyball through recreation.
Right, thank you. Councillor Sliger?
Good, thank you.
Okay, then all in favor? Passed. So next is CAO report. So over to you.
Thank you. So, as I informed you last meeting, we're moving ahead on those project management, on those different projects through the capital budget that I spoke about last meeting. So what I'm doing is I'm hiring Northern Front Studios to do the architectural for the rec center kitchen design stuff. And they're going to project manage it for us. So their fees came in at $32,000, and then we've had quotes from electrical, mechanical, and kitchen design come in to finalize that. So kitchen design consultant came in at $45,000, mechanical came in at $24,350. And electrical at $19,100, and then there's associated travel costs. So all in, based on that, the cost for that project for the management and all the engineering and design is $147,245. So I've lumped it under Northern Front instead of me having contracts with 4 different engineering or consulting firms. I'm doing it in a one envelope. One envelope.
Okay.
Okay. So, hence the reason the 147 that I'm bringing it to council's attention, but it was approved in your capital budget. Those fees were already in.
You're telling us because we're undoubtedly going to ask you about that
I
later.
guarantee I will get. Start seeing the Northern Front bills. You'll start questioning it because my spending authority, of course, is 50,000 before it comes to council.
Several projects.
But it's several consulting and engineering firms are coming in under their banner.
Okay.
Which still is in my spending authority, and which also that whole project was approved by council in capital budget. So I just wanted to put it formally on the record, so when it pops up again, you guys know.
How much did we approve? Sorry?
800.
Oh, yeah,
I
okay.
believe.
I just wanted to make sure. I knew that was it.
I thought, so. Okay, so I
Thank
just
you.
wanted to bring that to the forefront. Today, we had, mechanical, electrical, structural and architectural. At the rec center, they're starting the assessment of the rec center today. They're in for 3 days. One of the structural engineers broke down in Fort St. John. So he'll be in Thursday and he'll continue working separately. But all that work is proceeding on that whole scoping so that we have a project document for when funding envelopes do pop up. So that started today as well, so. We did our first steaming of the winter, today over at the Atco property, so. Knock on my thick skull, we've been very fortunate that it's the first time since winter started, so. So that's moving ahead. I met with Mayor Irvin and going forward, I will only be doing a CIO report on the committee of the whole meetings. And it'll be a written submission then, which allows you to have question period then, because right now, with the projects and stuff we got going on, I just don't have time to every 2 weeks to do it. So this way you guys will get a written submission and then can be followed up. And if there's anything major that's coming up, then of course, then I will bring it forward at the next meeting if I believe it needs to be brought forward.
And I feel like we can always ask you, in
Question
counselor
period.
forum, yeah.
That's right. So, so I just wanted to bring you up to speed on that, just so that you, if you see next meeting, you'll see it on there, but the following meeting won't. So it'll just help me with my time management as well. So,
Thank you.
okay.
That's reasonable.
And, I'll leave everything else for question period.
Okay, thank you for that. So let's move on. We have the contract award for the purchase of a submersible pump. Should I just quickly read this again, or?
Make a motion that council accept the bid from Move Water Incorporated for the amount of 120,273.81. Plus GST for the purpose of a new flight submersible pumping and model NP 3-3202. So we have a backup in case one of our pumps goes down.
Thank you,
I will
Councilor
then
Spiker.
second.
Thank you, Councilor Burtis. All in favor? Passed. So next we have the second and third reading of the property tax levy bylaw, 23-016.
Your worship, there is an admin report that went to council.
This one,
Yes, that is correct.
cheers, read it.
If you would like, yes.
Just because in case people in the gallery weren't at the last meeting. The property tax assessment roll increased by approximately $18 million over the previous year. This will cause an increase to our property tax income of approximately $184,000, which is a 9% increase, if we do not adjust our current property tax rates. So this amount is well above council's goal of increasing property tax income by 5% over 3 years. If the current tax rates are left the same, there will be an increase to our property tax income of approximately 184,000. I just said that, but so we have some figures here. There's a little spreadsheet here that we were provided that shows the income amount of current tax rates and with 2 options for council to review. So the current rate is
Your residential rate.
current residential rate is 1.588%, and the current commercial rate is 2.087%. So the options presented to us by the administration were for option 1, which would be a decrease of the mill rate to 1.45% for residential and a decrease to 2.05% for commercial, which would provide us with a total revenue for property tax of $72,804.81. And then option 2 was a reduction to 1.43% for residential and a reduction to 2.0% for commercial, which would bring $30,608.73 revenue to the municipality.
Increase, your worship.
Increase, sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah, increase over
last year.
last year. Thank you. With the preferred option by the municipality being option 2, excuse me.
Um. I mean, I look at this and I had said earlier that, and like Councillor Hanchar, I'm not crazy about increasing tax rates wherever possible. But also, as I stated before, 2 years ago, when we didn't raise them or didn't apply them, we got hit with like, the vacant properties and the minimum got increased from 600 to 800, which I felt targeted a certain area, I'll say. Then last year we had, no major increases or anything like that, which was like spread the pain was spread across the board, if you will. And this year I see the difference between option 1 and option 2. Mostly being a 2% difference for residential and a 5%, or not 5%, 0.02% difference for residential and a 0.05% for commercial. And my attitude was, let's let commercial take the hit for once, so to speak. And I'm in favor of option 1 unless somebody can provide me with some better reasoning.
I think your worship, it's on the table for a motion.
Yeah.
All right, I'll try it out then. I'll make a motion to go with option 1, the increase of 1.45% and 2.05% for commercial for the 2023 tax season.
2024.
Or 2024?
2024.
Yeah. This year.
2024. Okay, I will second. And like one of the things that like me and CEO Lockwood were talking about is like we worked out his taxes before the meeting, and the difference from option 1 to option 2 is literally like $100. He would save maybe $100 from option 1 to option 2. So I go with option 1 because I think with Councilor Slater saying is like residential got hit harder last time. So it's flip-flop this time, and I don't know, I think it's reasonable.
Okay, all in favor? Thank you. So with that, so we need to do third and final reading of sorry, excuse me, I skipped something. Third and final reading of the O&M budget bylaw 23-015, now that the property tax motion has been passed. So do we need?
We will need a motion to amend the O&M budget, your worship, to
Thank you, to change it from 184 to.
184 to the 72, sorry, I just lost that number.
Okay, I have it here.
Yeah.
So a motion to amend the O&M bylaw 23-015 from $184,000 to $72,804.81.
Sure.
Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion to change
Changes.
O&M bylaw from 184,228.69 to 72,804.81.
Thank you.
Your worship, that is the transfer or transfer number in the O&M budget.
Second? Thank you. All in favor? Okay. So moving on, we need to third and final reading of the OCP amendment bylaw 23-07 for kilometer 1023.5 on the Alaska Highway, which was the former Harty Farm property. So as you know, we received a approval letter from the Minister of Community Services, Minister Mostyn, with his approval for that amendment. So we can go ahead with third and final.
Make a motion to pass third and final reading of OCP amendment bylaw 23-07.
Thank you.
No second.
Thank you, Councilor Burtis. And all in favor? Passed. Okay, so next we have the first reading of new bylaw, the feeding of wild birds and animals bylaw 2024-02. And so we discussed this at the committee of the whole meeting. This motion tonight is just so that we can release this draft document to the public. And then we will bring it back to the next committee of the whole meeting.
I'll make a motion to, let's put first reading?
First reading.
First reading of the 2024-01 feeding of wild bird bylaw.
Thank you. Second? All in favor? Passed. So that'll be available for copies to be picked up at the town office, or it can be accessed on the website.
Yes, and your worship, just for the record, it's actually wild bird and animal bylaw.
Yes, thank you. Wild bird and animal.
Okay.
Thank you.
Only note to include domestic fowl with songbirds in the same sentence, that's all. Says it's not illegal to feed your own chickens.
Okay.
But now everybody will have a chance to read it.
Yeah, that's
right. Yeah, that's right. No, I just.
And then
Yeah, okay.
Then the next time we have it at council, we can bring forward any changes we want to see there.
That would be the.
Thank you. Okay, so next we have the first reading of zoning amendment bylaw 2024-03, again for kilometer 1023.5 on the Alaska Highway, the same property, Harty Farm property that we just passed the OCP amendment for, as it now needs to be rezoned, and they're seeking a rezoning from, excuse me, where's my piece of paper?
Residential to industrial. And
Yes, from rural residential RR to industrial M2. Yeah, so again, this is just first reading. So can I get a motion?
Make a motion for first reading of bylaw 2024-03 amended zoning bylaw for the Harty Farm.
Thank you. Can I get a second? Okay, all in favor?
And your worship, just for the record, this now will trigger another public hearing, which was scheduled for the next committee of the whole meeting.
In
on
February?
February 6th.
Okay, thank you. So public hearing February the 6th. Great. So next we have a donation request from the Watson Lake Secondary Yearbook Committee. So I will read this out. So it says, Dear Town of Watson Lake, on behalf of the Watson Lake Secondary School Yearbook Committee, I am writing to request a donation to support the production of the 23-24 school yearbook. The committee's goal is to raise $3,500 towards the cost of production and to help lower the overall cost of the yearbook for students. The following three-tier donation system has been proposed by the committee members. Gold, which is $500 and up, silver, which is $200 to $499, and bronze, which is $50 to $199. All donors will be thanked for their generous contributions on the yearbook's acknowledgements page. The Watson Lake Secondary School Yearbook Committee appreciates your consideration on this matter, and please contact the school with any questions that you may have. Conversation.
Well, it being a new year and since I have so much money from all these taxes.
Your worship, truthfully, this, we could have maybe handled it through our advertising budget.
Okay,
Because I assume that there will be notification in there that will be recognized through the town, but if council, under that authority would probably be at the $500 mark, but I'll leave it up to council to decide what
So do
direction
we-
they want to go.
we have some monies in that budget. What is that?
That's the admin advertising budget.
Oh, okay.
So that's where we advertise in the, like the mile post.
Do you have some extra?
There is some room in that.
I would love for you to pay for that.
So.
Instead of us making,
I'm in favor of that if you have the budget for it.
So that would be, that, then all I need is a motion to be referred to administration and we'll deal with it.
Make a motion to refer this matter to administration to tap into the advertising budget.
we'll second.
To
Thank you.
becoming a gold member of the Watson Lake Secondary School Yearbook Committee.
Sounds great. In favor?
Aye.
Thanks. Okay, so we had one more request, which I will read. So this is, from the Emily Wanford, for the Child Development Center. Dear Mayor and Council, I am writing to you in my capacity as Watson Lake's early childhood therapy assistant for the nonprofit organization Child Development Center to request a cash donation from town and council of the amount of $1,000. The funding would assist myself in partnership with other nonprofit organizations to plan and host events for Watson Lake's families and youth throughout 2024. As community service providers, collectively, we have successfully organized and hosted a plethora of recreational activities and events for the youth and families of Watson Lake and Lower Post. In fall 2022, I collaborated with local and out-of-service providers to host the summer fair at the Recreation Center, which was well attended by Watson Lake and neighboring community families. Again, in June 2023, together with the Family Center, LFN, Yukon Literacy Coalition, and Emergency Services, we jointly hosted the Spring into Summer Safety Fair. We have also celebrated Halloween and Family Literacy Days through community events. Thankfully, we are very well supported by other community service providers that have ensured these events have been financially funded in order to happen. However, as nonprofit organizations planning and hosting these events, it can at times prove difficult to find suitable funding to cover costs such as rental fees for use of community spaces, providing nutritional snacks, and offering theme-specific merchandise. Thank you for your consideration in this matter.
Well,
Conversation.
Conversation. With this, we do have, I mean, I was prepared to offer the same to the, to this letter as the Watson Secondary School. To come out of our PR budget to work with, the CDC in improving said programs. And there was some discussion about, whether or not they could tap into the Yukon lotteries, but there's some things, the next intake doesn't happen for a while. Anyway, long story short, I'm prepared to offer the same thing as Watson Lake Secondary School and go with $500, which is also our maximum that we can grant per our council PR.
I'm,
Automatic.
yeah. I just feel like it's not for anything specific and it's just like, I mean, we have a maximum limit anyway, which that's well over it. I feel like it's just a really non-specific ask for just cash. So I feel like I would want to
Like
say,
it's not an event or something like.
yeah, like if there was something specific that they were needing, like whether it was a rental or
That's like-
something.
Sorry to cut you off.
It doesn't really say specifically.
To find suitable funding to cover such things as rental fees, providing nutritional snacks and offering theme specific merchandise, I believe is.
Throughout 2024 though.
Throughout.
It doesn't have a,
And also,
I know what you
they're
mean.
very well
Yeah.
supported by other community service providers.
cause I
I think I'd
understand.
want some more details. from
I think,
tax dollars.
well, I think if they came up with different letters saying we're doing this
Mhm.
on this day, we need some support. It's a little bit different than just a general.
That's why I'm feeling it's just a little too non-specific for me.
So your worship, if that's the case, then we just need direction to administration to write a letter responding to them, to ask them to specify
What
events that they.
or what they're gonna. use.
What exactly the money's for.
Yes.
Yeah, I
We
think,
have the taxpayers to be accountable to, so I think that that's important.
We just need direction, that's all.
Thank you.
yeah, I think we'll make a motion to direct admin to write a letter to CDC about what more specifics on what they need the money for. Yeah. So.
Thank you. Second,
Yes.
all in favor? Do we need that? I don't know.
Yeah.
Thanks. Perfect. So that concludes the items on the agenda for tonight. We have Counselor Open Forum. So does anybody have anything they wanted to bring forward?
I was asked by a community member to thank Public Works for their excellent work in clearing the snow and steaming lines around ATCO and just doing an overall fantastic job.
Thank you, Public Works.
What, another thing I have, like when clearing snow, like I understand the trapping and stuff, but if somebody's disabled though. Like. Is there more of an effort to try to trap their driveway?
Yes.
It just, I just say that because one of my employees had a tough time when it snowed a lot, they had a huge.
I think they have to contact the town and then you get on a
Okay.
list.
No, and that's fine, I just wanna make sure, just because it's Randall, he can't walk through the snow, and I usually pick him up, but I don't go down his driveway because usually. Sometimes,
And just for the record, there was an issue at his end of the driveway.
Yeah.
And it was an oversight and it was rectified.
no, and that's fine, I just wanna know what the. Like policy sort of thing that is, but that's all I have.
For future reference, and for people that are listening in the gallery, we do have a program that was brought about due to the garbage bins being close to the curb. I think there was like, what, 20 people on the list or so?
I would say there's probably only 4 or 5.
Okay, so originally we imagined there might be 20, but turns out that number is less, but you can, for those listening, you can come into the town office and you can apply for, fill out a very short 1-page form, I believe,
Mhm.
that lists where you live, why you need this, and they will take your garbage to the bin and back and do their best to make sure that you're not.
Forgotten.
Having to do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
Okay. I don't have anything for Counselor Open Forum tonight. So
I see, Mayor Urban's still logged on, but I don't think he has any.
Mayor Irvin, did you want to add anything for Counselor Open Forum? We're just about to wrap up here.
Wow, you're cruising right along, but I have nothing to add. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Okay, so I will just ask for a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I will second.
I'm in favor. Perfect. Thank you, everybody, for coming.